What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome back to another C8 Corvette Z06 video. The difference is this time, it's been revealed. So we're going to talk about what was obviously missing from the latest GM C8 Corvette Z06 video. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so if you haven't seen it yet, on my channel is a Corvette Z06 reveal with some live commentary and discussions. It was a very, very productive video. You guys really helped boost that video to the top of YouTube's algorithm, it seems, because everybody was watching it, and I appreciate all of you out there so much. But what it comes down to is there was a couple of noticeably missing things in GM's latest reveal video. But before we get into those missing things, let's talk about what was visible and how freaking awesome this car is. Now, right off the bat, guys, I guessed that this car was going to have somewhere around 630 horsepower. It does not. It has 670 horsepower out of a naturally aspirated flat plane crank V8 engine, which is totally mind-blowing, but it doesn't stop there. There are so many things about this car that are fantastic that were not leaked, and the horsepower is one of them. 670, crazy. When they dove into the interior and we saw some of that in there, all the carbon fiber was absolutely nuts. There is a carbon fiber level 2 package that will put carbon fiber everywhere in that interior. Not to mention the engine that looks literally like a Ferrari when you look through that glass on the coupe. Now, all of that stuff aside though, guys, we're going to talk about what was noticeably missing. So the big one, the one on everybody's minds, is price. GM did not give us any price on this vehicle yet. The reveal was really just there to show us the car in the flesh, talk about a couple of the specifics, but noticeably missing, no price. Now, what that means is very, very likely that GM has not given this car a solid price yet. And even if they have, they don't want to give us a price too early because of possible inflation by the time that this car is available. So as you guys saw, the building of this car will not start until summer of 2022. So we have about 7 or 8 more months before the car even starts to be built. At that point, you can look for a fall 2022 or possibly early 2023 delivery dates. With all that said, we're still almost a year away from being able to see one of these cars. That's a year's worth of inflation. They probably are not going to give us a price until things are a little more settled down and or closer to the actual delivery of this car. With that said, I can speculate, and based on the pricing difference between the C7 Stingray and the C7 Corvette Z06, if we apply that same math to the C8, we are looking at somewhere around $85,000 to $89,000 for the Corvette Z06 before options. So if you want just your base model, stripped down model of the Z06, you're looking at $85,000 to $89,000. If you check that box for the Z07 package, you are likely boosting it another $10,000, so you're right there knocking at $100,000 door. And if you go with a 3LZ, you're probably adding another $8,000 to $10,000 on top of that. All the carbon fiber packages that we were just talking about, the inside and the exterior, you're probably somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000 additional on top of that. The carbon fiber wheels, if I had to guess, are going to be priced very high because typically aftermarket carbon fiber wheels are somewhere around $20,000, which is insane. But GM will probably give them to us for a little bit less than what we can get them aftermarket for, if I had to guess. Again, all of these are guesses at this point. But this car optioned out fully is likely to hit $140,000 to $150,000. Now, I know that sounds scary, but you got to understand that the car at its core will be somewhere between $85,000 and $89,000 to start. And if that's the case, you are literally getting supercar performance for under $100,000. Now, I feel like there was a reason why GM excluded some of this information, and it was because it wasn't really as much of a seller as some of the other items they were talking about were. The reason I say that is because they touted the 2.6 seconds to 60, which is fantastic. They touted the 670 horsepower out of this engine, which again, fantastic, but they didn't want to talk about a lot of the things that weren't necessarily as fantastic. Price possibly being one of them. I could be totally off with this price. I'm just basing it off of what the C7 Corvette did. And of course, a lot of that information translates over very well. Stuff from the C7 translates very well to the C8 in the way that pricing and options and even availability worked. So it is definitely very likely that this car will start at $85,000 to $89,000. Another thing that was obviously missing in the video was weight. What does this car weigh? Is it going to be any lighter than the base C8 Corvette? Is it going to be heavier than the base C8 Corvette, which is what I'm afraid of. A lot of the websites have started reporting on the fact that this car is going to weigh a little bit more than the base C8, which is kind of disappointing because I was really hoping that this car was going to shed some weight like the Z06s always have. With that said, it might not be a big deal, but I was really hoping for like a 32 or 3,300 pound weight would have been fantastic. With that amount of horsepower, that amount of looks, and that performance in a car that weighs 3,200 pounds would have been absolutely insane, but I think we're going to be closer to 3,600 pounds at this point. Again, probably not exactly where GM wanted to end up with this car, which is probably why it wasn't discussed, but we will see. Another note that was obviously missing was the Nürburgring time. You guys have all seen the Nürburgring photos by now. The Z06 was over there testing a lot. The Z07 was over there testing a lot. And yet they didn't mention how fast this thing was going to be around the Nürburgring. I hope that that is just because they haven't finished up all of the details of it yet, because that should really be one of the biggest selling points of this car and one of the biggest reasons why this car is a supercar. If this thing comes in at under 7 minutes on the Nürburgring, it is literally a supercar. It is faster than most supercars around that ring, and that is a gigantic selling point. Again, I'm curious why they wouldn't have mentioned this if it is in fact under 7 minutes. Now, there is obviously the other side to this coin, which is let's throw all these enthusiasts a little teaser trailer, get their mouths wet, but string them along with new information that comes out every other month or so. That is really a great way to keep people interested in a product. So I'm not going to say that that's bad, but at the same time, I just wanted more. And I mean, I know I'm not the only one, and it's unfortunate because this is the kind of world we live in right now where everybody wants more. But it wouldn't surprise me to find in a couple weeks we get some more information on the car, talking about the price, talking about the Nürburgring time, talking about the weight of the car, all that stuff. And I'm hoping all of these things are good and that I'm just way off base here thinking that they're going to be negative. If we get a car that is even a pound less than the base C8, that's a win. If we get a car that is under 7 minutes around that ring, that is a win. If we get a car that starts at $85,000, that is a win. All of these things I really do believe will be the case, but I'm just fearful now because they didn't mention them in the initial reveal. But moving on, guys, we also did not get a clear view of the rear trunk, so there's no guarantee if that trunk has been resized at all. It doesn't look like it has been, but with where the exhaust comes out and where the intake could possibly be placed, it might be slightly smaller than the base C8 Corvette. Moving on from that, though, you guys have probably seen the previous videos where I talked about some possible new colors for the Z06, and that unfortunately was not discussed at all today either. We got to see the Z07 package car in Accelerate Yellow. We got to see the Z06 in silver and in red mist with the convertible option, and it was spectacular. Don't get me wrong, I am super pumped about this car. The Z07 package car that we got to see in Accelerate Yellow has me more excited than I have ever been for a car release, and that's really saying something. I am unbelievably pumped for what is coming. I know that this car is just going to continue to give and give and give, and I couldn't be freaking happier about it. But guys, I just wanted to talk to you about what was missing out of that reveal trailer and what we're probably going to get over the coming months. Hopefully, it's all good news. Guys, that is going to do it for today's video, though. If you liked what you saw, please smash that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content. Let YouTube know you're liking it so we can break the algorithm and get this out to as many other auto enthusiasts as possible. I would greatly appreciate any help in that category, and you guys always have my thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of content like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.